Well, Beep, my ever-ongoing quest to find a replacement for you has led me here. Say hello to Frank. Not for long, I'm just off out to get him a new one.
Oi! I'm a downgrade, am I?
Sneaky Bears review for the PlayStation VR. Let's begin! First, let's take a look at the gameplay. This is a shooting gallery game. There is 15 stages in total and a boss fight. There is 3 game modes, each containing 5 stages. The first is called Survival. In these 5 stages you'll be shooting teddies that are coming towards you. You are armed with a Nerf gun, which is good for long range, and you also have a shotgun, which is obviously good for short range, and is also used for destroying shields that some teddies are using to protect themselves with. The second mode is called Fire. In these 5 levels you are armed with a Nerf gun and a water gun. Objects catch fire around you and you must put them out quickly. You always know if something has been burning for a long time, because the person you embody begins to cough. These levels require you to have an extra awareness of your surroundings, and change the gameplay up nicely. The final mode is called Bomb, and in these 5 levels you will have to stop bombs that are travelling down a conveyor belt towards some trapped pandas. To stop the bombs you'll be using the freeze gun. You hold the fire button down to create a ball of snow. Holding the button down for longer will make the ball bigger, which will give you a better chance of hitting your target. When any of your guns run out of ammo, you need to grab another one from your virtual belt. You'll be doing this a lot, especially when using the shotgun, as it only has 2 shots. It feels great grabbing a new gun, and you really do feel like a gunslinger from a Wild West movie. When a gun runs out of ammo, it does have one more use, because it can be chucked at a teddy to stun it momentarily. Throwing your guns around is precise, and gives you an extra tactical option. The physics on the Nerf gun bullets are pretty good. It will take a couple of minutes getting used to the weight of them, as gravity starts taking over when they travel a fair distance. You'll have to aim slightly higher for far away enemies, so that the bullets hit their target. They bounce quite realistically off of objects in the factory. It's quite funny to see a teddy die from a Nerf bullet, as the guns quite rightly don't feel like they pack a punch. Freezing a bear is also comical, but my favourite is popping a balloon that is attached to a teddy. Some bears throw bottles which fly towards you. Your aiming will have to be very precise to hit the bottles, and if you do make contact, you instantly feel like a pro. You can restore some of your life by shooting a health target that appears every so often. The final 2 stages in each mode do get a lot more challenging. The pacing of the difficulty overall is good, but I would have personally liked all the first 3 stages in each mode to have been a bit more difficult. I won't show any gameplay of the boss, but what I will say is that it adds game mechanics from each of the game's 3 modes, and was quite enjoyable. You get extra points for shooting bears in a quick succession. This is called a combo, and your current multiplier is displayed next to a bear each time you shoot them. You can also get extra points from hitting targets that appear quite often. After completing a stage, you are able to add your score and name to the local leaderboard. Sadly, there is no online leaderboards. Now let's take a look at how immersive this game is. The factory isn't the most interesting environment I've ever seen in a VR game, but it is a lot more colourful in places than I first anticipated it to be. The depth is good, especially when the bears come very close to you. A couple of times I did jump when I turned to come face to face with a balloon bear. The story is that there is an evil genius teddy bear called Frank, who has a plan for world domination. He's funny at first, but after a while I found myself not that interested in what he had to say each time that he popped up on a TV screen. Kids will probably find him amusing, but the cheesy humour will likely be a hit or miss for some adults.
Tell me, what do teddy bears do when it rains? They get wet.
Some people simply don't like cheesy humour. I have no idea why not. The gun models are quite colourful, and they really do give the impression that you are holding a toy. The sound effects also give the feeling that you are playing with something that was made for kids, as the guns don't sound very powerful. And the slight vibration on the move controllers also enforced this. To be honest, it was a nice change from the loud sounding and big rumble coming from the guns in other VR shooters. The voiceovers are not terrible, but they are nowhere near the quality seen in the animated Pixar films.
Oh, not cool, dude. He called you fugly. You gonna take that?
The music is about what you would expect from a game like this. It's quite joyful and does suit the game. Now let's take a look at the setup and what controllers the game supports. I played this game in a standing position just over 2 meters away from the camera. I was able to just play the game sitting down, but I did have some trouble now and then grabbing my guns from my belt. Standing is really the best way to play and makes the experience more fluid overall. In each stage you are only ever in one stationary position, therefore the game should not give you motion sickness. In the later levels you feel the urge to cross your arms over each other, which can result in one of the move controllers not being picked up by the camera. This happens only briefly though. The DualShock controller is not supported. One move controller and 2 move controllers are supported. However, playing with one move controller will make the game incredibly harder, as you'll have to be constantly switching your 2 guns. The later levels are close to being impossible to complete with only one gun. The game really has been designed to be played with 2 move controllers. I don't recommend playing if you only have one move controller. Now let's take a look at how long the game takes to complete and what trophies come with it. The game took me around an hour and a half to beat. It's worth mentioning that I did die and had to restart a few levels found near the end of the game. If you was looking for some replayability from the trophies, unfortunately there isn't any. In total there are 11 trophies that can be achieved. There is 7 bronze, 3 silver and 1 gold. You'll be rewarded with trophies for beating the stages, and you will have 100% of all the trophies once you have beaten the final boss. It really is quite a shame that there wasn't any for getting a high score in each stage. It would have given the extra incentive to return to each level and really master each one. And now it's time for the verdict. I really did have fun during my time with the game, but the lack of any replayability and the absence of online leaderboards unfortunately make these shooting galleries a one playthrough only for me. I think that families will get the most out of this game. Kids and parents will both enjoy fighting for the top spot on the local leaderboards. Grabbing your guns from your belt becomes second nature and helps to ground you in the world even more. You quickly become precise with your aiming and will be throwing guns to their intended location in no time at all thanks to the game's solid controls. New enemies that are introduced over the levels, and the different modes that are included, all give the game a surprising bit of variety for a shooting gallery. The game is aimed more towards the casual gamer, although the later levels will give you a bit of a challenge. They certainly did me. It might be seen as a little pricey for the amount of time it takes to complete, but if you want a solid shooting gallery experience, you will definitely have a good time shooting these teddy bears in the head. I give Sneaky Bears a score of 7 out of 10.
Oi! I'm a downgrade, am I?
Oh my god. You really do get jealous, Beep. If you enjoyed this review, please give me and Beep a thumbs up, and also subscribe for more PlayStation VR game reviews.